What's up everyone, it's Mask and I'm here today to show you just how simple and more importantly profitable swing trading can be with commodities like oil and gold. In this video, I'm going to show you just how easy it really is as long as you learn to execute the trades properly to make significant profit with oil. I've been trading oil for about maybe 2 years now, maybe 2.5 years. I think actually. No, it would be more than that. Like 3 years at this point, actually, that I've been looking at the oil market and actively trading it for about 2 or 2.5 years. I started around Christmas a few years ago, and I got hooked because I had a month of trading oil where I had not a single losing trade, and I took like 20 trades. I got extremely lucky with that, by the way. I'm not making that like a skill-based thing. I'm absolutely not that good at trading. I'm not going to win 20 trades in a row. But with this system, I just want to show you how simple, just trend lines, literally just some colored pixels can make trading with oil. The way that I do it is very much more swing trading style. I don't like to scalp stuff like oil because commodities like oil, silver, platinum, gold even are very volatile sometimes, right? If you look at the chart right here, within one day, I mean, you've gone down, you've gone massively up, you've gone massively up and back down again. It's just a very, very aggressive market sometimes. So I don't like to go in on the short time frames. But if you're looking for a system that you can basically spectate, something that's not actively played with that much, this is a perfect system for you. The first thing you're going to do is go on TradingView, and you're going to switch the time frame to the 4 hours. Why are you going to the 4 hours? Because again, we're swing trading here. We want to find stable entries into long-term trends. You can also do the hour if you're a bit less patient. I found this entry right here for this massive swing actually on the hourly. I drew this trend line right here on the hourly. I still remember that. I did not draw that one on the 4 hour. It just happens to also line up on the 4 hour. You can pick either the 1 hour or the 4 hour. This system I'm specifically showing you is going to be for the 4 hour, but it also applies to other time frames as well. You'll just have to adjust it slightly. Please bear that in mind if you do want to ignore what I'm telling you and just change the system completely. First things first, again, change the time frame to 4 hours, and you're going to go to US oil. How you find that is just type in US oil in the symbol search, and the one you're going to click on is from TVC. It's a commodity CFD from TVC. That's the chart that I use. It most closely resembles the price that I get on my broker, which is why I like to have it. And next, all you're going to do is have trend lines. Now, if you don't know how to draw trend lines, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can either have them connect from body to body to body, or you can have them connect from wick to wick. You can also do wick to body or body to wick, whatever you want to do. Now, my preferred style is to have them from body to body on this, and then I wait for closes. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you can do wick to wick and enter the trade as the candle crosses the trend line, but that's not really my style, as I trade this system fairly passively. If you've watched one of the recent videos about the MACD system, you'll know that my main trading system is on GBP USD on the 15-minute time frame using the MACD. It's much more of a passive swing trading, sort of even like an investing strategy that I have. And again, if you don't know how to draw trend lines, I think I might have a video on the channel somewhere. If I don't, do remind me to make one. I might look into that later today. But a very basic explanation of trend lines. You can probably already kind of see it here. All I'm looking for is these points where we have just massive spikes up and down, and then I just want to connect the spikes. That's all I want to do. Now, I have a bar of favorites here, which is very simple to make. If you just head on over here, the second symbol here is going to be a trend line. If you just chuck a star next to it, it'll actually give you one of these, and it'll just have the trend line. And the more things you add to it, the more it'll just expand this little toolbar that you have, and it's very nice to have for quick access. All you do, if I go ahead and find a time of trades that I've already deleted, let's see if we can find something here. This market here is very, very choppy. This is the start of the year. That's very, very, very choppy usually. But just as an example, we would connect these two here. Now in this instance, you can see that we have a touch right here, we have a touch right here, we have a touch right here. We continue over to here, just keep dragging it out. We have another touch right here. Obviously, very, very strong trend line here. Now, market moved far away from that trend line there, but I think you start to get the point. Again, my connection points are usually body to body. That's what I want to connect. I'm much more aggressive on other pairs like NAS. When I'm scalping NAS on like the 5-minute or US 30 on the 5-minute, I will connect wick to wick sometimes, but my preferred style is just to go body to body. And again, what that means is that I go where the price closed, where it finished, to where the price closed. You can also go, if I just zoom in to make it easier to see, you can go wick to wick, like that, and have a trend line based off that. If that's your preferred method, that is perfectly fine. It isn't for me. That's not how I like to have my trend lines. However, I just spotted a nice little setup here. If we go ahead and again connect these two, you can see we have a breakthrough right here. Now, this does look like a losing trade. Yep, this is a losing trade, unfortunately, but that happens, especially again towards the end and the beginning of a year. But I'll just mark it up. Trend lines, again, I'm connecting these extreme peaks, like these obvious just A and V shaped little things, these peaks and valleys. I want to connect those. Just connecting all of these where it's going back and forth doesn't help me at all. I want to connect things that have a bit of space between them, because those are going to be your much more meaningful trend lines. Anyway, off to the actual trade setup. What I usually go for on this is fairly simple. I have a 2-point stop loss, and then I will just target previous market structure for my take profit. And then what I do is I will round down my risk reward ratio to the nearest 0.5. So as you can see right now, my risk reward ratio is 2.34. I don't want to round up to 2.5 because that decreases the likelihood of that trade working out, because maybe the market doesn't go all the way up here and it'll bounce off like down here. What I instead do is I round down to a 1 to 2. If I just quickly fix that, there we go. And that would be my trade here. Now again, unfortunately this one lost, but I'll explain the entries for some of these ones here. Again, you see I have a 2-point stop loss, and I targeted the previous market structure where I started my trend line. You can have a set risk reward ratio if you want. That's just not really my style for oil. I have a set one for the MACD strategy on GBP USD. You can check that out if you haven't already. But for oil, I like to target market structure because oil and other commodities like to go back to where they were before. So again, I'll explain it again. My stop loss here, and yours should be too, is going to be 2 points. That means you're going, in this instance, from, I guess, 84.82 up to 86.82. Just that 2-point difference. And then I drag the take profit to the nearest level. And you can see in this instance, again, I'm targeting the body. So if I make a line there real quick, I'm targeting the bottom of these candles here where I started my trend line. That's where I'm targeting my take profit. But you see, the ratio now is a 3.83. So I'm going to round down to the nearest 0.5, which would be 3.5. Right? So I round down to 3.5, just like that. And now I have a lovely trade. And again, right here, same thing. The nearest market structure here is that previous bounce. Now this time it isn't where I started the trend line, but it's a really nice sharp downtrend from this point. So this is going to be my target. And again, on this one, I targeted, again, actually before I mention any of that, the minimum ratio is a 1.5, but I personally like to have a minimum ratio of 1 to 2. Which is why you see this, even though it's close and actually above the market structure, I still targeted a 1 to 2. That is my minimum for this strategy. This one's a better example, where again, we have this same target over here, and this target up here, and I went for a 2.5. We have the target up here, and I scrolled down. So if I put my target from here to up at the top there, it would be a 2.73. But I don't want that, so I scrolled down to the nearest 0.5. I round it down. Same thing here. This is a 1 to 3. We have the market structure here, but if I target up here, I have a 3.08. So I round down to the nearest 0.5, which in this instance would be a 1 to 3. This one here is just a minimum again, because there's no market structure here in this area for me to target. As you can see, like there's nothing over here. I don't have anything to target. So I'm just going with the minimum ratio of 1 to 2. This one here was a massive trade, and it took over 3 weeks to play out, but it's a 1 to 4 risk-reward ratio. Again, the nearest market structure could have targeted this, could have targeted these. I ended up targeting between these and then rounded down for a 1 to 4 risk-reward ratio. Please do keep in mind that you have to be patient for this. You have to be patient for this system, because if you look at this trade here, it was 25 days, 25 and a half days, basically. That is a long, long time to have to wait for a trade. But this trade was massive. I'm currently in a trade where I went off the rejection of a moving average. This didn't break through, which doesn't technically follow this system. But again, I have experience with oil. I can do other things. But if you're new to swing trading, if you're new to oil, if you're new to commodities in general, follow this system. Just connect peaks, okay? Connect extreme peaks like this. For example, right here to right here. Something along those lines. And you can see that we were kind of breaking through, which is very confidence inspiring. So theoretically, right? Theoretically, we could have another trade entry right here. We could have another trade entry right there. Put that like that. I'll actually do it just to show you guys real quick. So we have a 2-point stop loss here. I'll go ahead and fix that. And then we'll target the previous market structure up here, which is a 2.86. So we're going to round down again to the nearest 0.5. So a 2.5. Lovely. And we'll just see how this trade plays out next week, or even over the course of multiple weeks. I think that's all you guys need to know for this system. I hope you can learn to apply it correctly. Please take some time to backtest and find things and properly figure it out before you put it on a live account. This is a system that you can technically trade with about $50 and more. Do keep in mind that if you trade oil, a 2-point stop loss will be $20. So if you only have, a $20 to $50 account, please be aware that one trade could wipe you out completely. You can technically put this on a smaller account, but please don't. If you have the risk, if you have the capital to manage your risk properly, please do so. Risk reasonable amounts. And aside from that, I hope you find success with this strategy. I do. This is one of my 2 personal strategies. It's this one and the MACD strategy, both of which you're very welcome to just steal from me. They're both on the channel. And again, good luck in trading. May you be disciplined in every trade you take. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this weekend.